Hello, everybody. How you doing? It's Damon with another top 10 list. And this time, I think I'm going to do one that might garner me some attention, more attention, which would be needed, and probably a bit of vitriol, which I hope not. Not too much, at least. Not more than I can handle. I was thinking maybe it'd be fun to look at, I mean, unpopular opinions. Like, we all have unpopular opinions about movies, about entertainment. I might do some later on an unpopular hot take about entertainment, movie entertainments. Not now though. I'll do one about movie wrestling hot takes, my wrestling hot takes. So basically, I'm not saying everybody's thinking it. I'm thinking it. It's my thoughts. So disagree all you want in the comments down below. Don't, but be civil about it. And those of them might be funny. Some of them are just a funny opinion. And some of them might actually provoke you, especially the AEW diehards. They're going to be provoked by the very number 10 opinion that I got. So brace yourself because we're about to have some wrestling uptakes. Boom! Number 10. Logan Paul is better than Adam Page any day of the week. I know some people would just say, okay, I'm stopping. I stopped watching this guy now, now, now. No, listen to me. Adam Page is very good in the ring. There's no doubt about it. But his promos get grating as time goes on. It's like he's repeating himself, he's repeating himself. It feels like he's not comfortable. Even now, he's being a babyface and he feels so phony. Logan Paul is a dirtbag, but you see he's comfortable in his skin. He's comfortable on the mic. He's comfortable. He realizes comeback. He's come back. He knows it. He owns it. And his promos is supposed to be him being grating. It's like that works. He's supposed to be grating. If I sympathize with Logan Paul, there's a problem. I don't. I'm not talking about his off camera jackassery. I'm talking about his on camera jackassery. He's very good. He's crisp in the ring. He tries to make most of his move count. Like he doesn't do a plancha for nothing. He actually makes it happen. His frog splash is one of his top moves. His inverted DDT's finisher he makes it happen. His punch. It's like his moves mean something. His buckshot lariat seems to have more poise than Adam Page's. He might butch a bit more, but still, it's like look at his Chris his new move, his in-ring psychology and stuff like that. Just this, his character, and it's like it's very well done. So honestly, if there's Paul versus Bad Bunny at WrestleMania, I'm really cool with this. I'm actually the one of the match I would look forward the most to WrestleMania, and I want Bad Bunny to win because it's like established very heel against established very big baby face guy. And two celebrities, lots of attention for wrestling, and you should too want this match to happen, as long as Logan Paul loses. But that's number 10. Number 9, I was hesitating, but there I'll say it. The RKO out of nowhere gimmick is just derivative of Positively Canyon's gimmick. That's right, I'll say it. It was hilarious Positively Canyon did it. And RKO out of nowhere is fine, but let's not put some dirt on Chris Canyon's legacy. Chris Canyon's legacy, I mean, the Diamond Cutter, Canyon Cutter out of nowhere made me laugh out loud, especially one during an interview was Mike Tyson was doing an interview with a wrestler, I think it was I don't know which one it was. Then the camera panned out to I don't know a building. I think there was the actual building in which case that Nitro had or Nitro Thunder happened. And Canyon in the very far background, you see Canyon doing the diamond cutter, does the bang sign in the street, and then starts running for no reason. That made me laugh out loud. He's one of few highlights of WWE where they tried genuinely to be funny and it actually worked. And yeah, I love the RK out of nowhere. It's more dangerous, unpredictable than funny like Positive Canyon. But let's be honest, it's rip off. In my opinion, it's very derivative of Positive Canyon. And yeah, that was this. Uh, what else? Number 8. Beth Phoenix is overrated as all hell, in my opinion. She has great power, but never had any charisma. Every time she did the sign like this, I felt like anti-pop for the crowd. And apart from a match that she had with Melina, can you remember any great match she had? No, she just happened to be the most talented wrestler in a time where the most talented wrestler was just expected to be okay. All you had to do to be the best wrestler was to be okay in the ring. Now, granted, she's more than okay. She's pretty good, but she had no charisma. And by the way, I would say that Michelle McCool has some company in the overrated section. Michelle McCool cannot lace Beth Phoenix boots, but still doesn't change the fact that while Beth Phoenix is far better than Michelle McCool ever was, she's still kind of overrated. Okay? And she looked ridiculous when she tried to face off like a Rhea Ripley with that. What was her hairstyle? That was looks really stupid on her. It felt like basically somebody trying to stay cool. Like it felt like if it basically would be, I don't know, a wrestler coming back in his mid 40s, early 50s, and all of a sudden coming back with his cap backwards. Like, dude, grow up. Like, you grew. You're growing old. It's like we're all growing old. You don't need to pretend like you're still young. It's just kind of, it seems sad. So, seven. Seth Rollins' visionary sticks makes no sense. Going to a point where he has a face, a revolutionary, a visionary. It's like, dude, you're just picking out names that end with airy, or but it's like you don't even know what it means. I just imagine basically Inigo Montoya in Princess Bride saying, "You use those words a lot." Basically, I don't think they mean what they you think it means, and that's not what I think with Seth Rollins. I think he used those words, but do you know what it means? Revolutionary. Like I hear revolutionary, I think somebody who made something very, very uh irreplaceable, and that's not the case with Seth Rollins. And I didn't mind that is outlandish attire when he was a heel, a mid-card heel in 2022. But it's like you're not that heel anymore. You were supposed to be a face, and you continue acting like this. And let's not say, oh, but I pictured the Macho Man Randy Savage. Macho Man Randy Savage established him from the get-go, and basically grew up with those capes and those cowboy outfit, and basically was flamboyant. He was flamboyant from the get-go, and there was something unpredictability that match. Basically, a killer instinct that match is flamboyance, which Seth Rollins does not have. Unless you mean having 10 planchas in a row and none of them look like they hurt anything. It feels like a flying shove. Bret Hart did better planchas. At least his planchas of Bret Hart looked like they hurt and they knocked you down. Again, I preferred Seth Rollins as the 2014, 2015, basically betrayer of the Shield, as the architect, as Mr. Money in the Bank. And I prefer him in 2008 as basically the defender of the IC title, basically the Monday night, basically the face of Monday Night Raw. I prefer that Seth Rollins. That felt more organic, in my opinion. Number six, people basically glorify him nowadays, but let's be honest, Randy Orton up until 2009 was so boring. I know that basically I can tell when Randy Orton was boring and when he's not. When he has the Mercy Drive song, the Burning My Light, he's boring. When he has voices from Rev Theory, pretty good. I started to really like him in 2009. The moment he changed his song, he changed his whole appeal, he changed his crispness move. He added a snap power slam, basically was more crisp his move. And yeah, but up until 2000, basically until he gets that injury, he felt like so Chinlock reliant. Like there was a joke, there was signs like another Chinlock Randy. People try to forget that part, right? Because that's the thing when we become nostalgic to the past, and not just wrestling oriented, by the way. Everything that becomes nostalgia of the past, nobody remembers the bad stuff that happened. Like for example, people basically now that love Roman Reigns and yeah, I love the Tribal Chief, but they forget that in 2015 when he tried to be big dogs, like CM Punk quit and I'm getting rich in a podcast. I don't, but people did. Same thing with Randy Orton. Similarly, like people forget that it used to be basically all about the Chinlucks, brother. And I have no problem with Chinlock well executed, but he would do 2-3 in a match sometimes just to be more boring. Anyway, that's number six. Number five, Vince Russo's convoluted WCW booking thousand brings me now. It used to bring me shame as a wrestling fan, but now it brings me a source of joy and entertainment when we watch it on YouTube or I watch the Deadlock podcast or Laps Fan podcast, and it gives me that joy, a source of joy and entertainment like nobody else can, except Neil Breen, Tyler Perry, and Tommy Wiseau. It's so bad they comes good. I can't believe that there was a 5 round of pole match, and after downing all those pills down Kidman's gullet. Yeah, Tony Schiavone said, "Oh, I think he might get he needs to be at Summit Bump. He might need to go to the hospital." Anyway, let's go to the back. Like nobody took it seriously. That guy Kidman, the character, might be quite frankly need to go to the hospital because it might be an immediate danger. No, later on that night, Zakasa too. Like there's no problem. WCW, it's like they didn't try to. They just were eminently, and unintentionally hilarious. Watch it as a source of hilarity, just like you would watch Mortal Kombat Annihilation, and trust you me, you're gonna enjoy WWE. It becomes kind of a treat. It becomes like a gem, a gift that keeps on giving. If you look at it as a way of, hey, you know what? I wanted to make sense wrestling, you're gonna be miserable, but not that. That's number five. Similarly, four, to me, the Dungeon of Doom have become one of the greatest factions of all time. Of all time. Of all time. Think of it. I mean, I think it was King Curtis Ikea was basically the true leader of the faction. You have Kevin Sullivan with his Boston accent trying to be badass. He was a badass, but I mean, his Boston accent every time he talked threw me off. Then you have all those weird wrestle crap gimmicks. The Shark, the Zodiac. Look at my smile right now. I'm just laughing. And all culminated. The real reverence of Dungeon of Doom in the islands that to end all Comania. Imagine that. A group's name is saying to islands is the islands to end something. It's as ludicrous as the group of the no homers, but we'll still have one. OG Simpson fans here. So yeah, that to me made me laugh. And to top it all off, Hogan won. And supposedly the object of the match was not supposed to be pinned. It was supposed to be escape from the triple cage. But no, at the bottom of the cage, Savage pinned Flair. Because guess what? Despite all the other people in the match, Savage, the WB, the World Heavyweight Champion, Ric Flair has to be pinned. I'm surprised it wasn't Hogan that did it. But yeah, Dungeon of Doom. Oh, so hilarious. So hilarious. Number three, unpopular opinion. Not so hilarious. I know some people like to praise John Moxley. Oh, he's great when basically all he does is same crap all the time. But Vince McMahon was right not to push Dean Ambrose as fervently as Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins. He pushed in the WWE title, but he didn't push him as hard as Roman or as Rollins, and it showed why. Roman had poise. Roman felt comfortable, basically felt like basically he belonged there, not just because of look, but he also understood the business side. Basically, he grew up in it, so he knew exactly what he needed to do. Seth Rollins worked his ass off from get-go. And sure, he might seem like right now as a guy who's going to defend WWE on everything, and it's very annoying. But he grew as a character. He grew as an entertainer, as a sports entertainer. He grew in many other ways. Dean Ambrose, the moment he got the title, he felt like he stopped giving a crap. He stopped improving. He didn't care. He just like Roman Reigns said he was the guy. Seth Rollins thought he was the man. Just the fact that I'm the dude. It's like, dude, nobody cares. Nobody wants to see somebody pretend to be the Big Lebowski being the WWE champion. Okay? And let's not give this. I love Rob Van Dam. He could get away with this because he was always cool tempered and he got super over there. But Dean, John, you're no RVD. You never were. And I don't care how many titles you got in IWGP, whatever, you still are the same lackluster performer. Just like Mystico is still lackluster. He's still Sin Cara in my book. Let's not basically brush it over because they went somewhere else. They just went back to their zone of comfort. Just like John Moxley went back to his zone of comfort, bleeding all the time. Just like Mystico went back to his zone of comfort. Because guess what? He fell miserably in WWE. He would fell miserably in AEW. So yeah. But John Moxley, he felt so much the WWE champion that he wasn't even featured at WrestleMania 33. He wasn't a pre-show. They still gave him a title. They still gave him the IC title two more times. Um, yeah, two more times. And they gave him like tag titles, two tag titles. So it's not like they stopped pushing him. They just never pushed him as the W champion again. And they were right. Vince McMahon was so out of touch for a lot of things, but this is one thing that was nails on. He didn't deserve to be champion again. And furthermore, I don't think he should have kept the title at WrestleMania 33 either. So that's this. Number two, and I'm really annoyed of this because as much as I love Bret Hart, I really hate people crapping on Goldberg's legacy. I mean, you could crap on Goldberg while you crap Ultimate Warrior. First off, let's be honest. People crapping on Goldberg never lived to the peak of Goldberg. From 1998, well, 1997 to 2000 to basically his 1 year, basically 1 year run in WWE at the time, Goldberg was a badass. Sure, I think people are complaining because he didn't last too long wrestling. I say, look at The Rock. Basically, his main run was 1996 to 2002, and a bit of appearance since then until 2004, and didn't come back like for a decade. And after this, that's some match, but not too much. The Rock was maybe 7, 8 years in the long run. Stone Cold Steve Austin, his run in WWE was what? 1996 to 2002. The two biggest stars, not named Hulk Hogan, in wrestling history did not have a huge long run. They got in, they did their stuff, they basically got their peak, and they left. Goldberg was not as versatile, but what he did was basically badass aura, based explosive offense. He wasn't a technical wizard, but knew what to do, or at least appeared to. And sure, you said people say, "Oh, he's not the safest." Okay, I don't think it's a thing of this. I think people complain what you want. It's not the fact he's not the safe. It's not the safest. It's the fact of who it happened to, what the accident happened to. Because trust you me, if that accident happened to Vince Russo, nobody would bat an eye. I love Bret Hart. He's basically my top five best wrestlers. But my personal opinion, I believe that the concussion he got, yeah, directly that the kick basically might be the direct cause, but the underlying factors that led up to him developing a concussion, or at least the symptoms afterwards, it's like a lot. It's basically like years long cumulative effects of wrestling. That's what I believe, and I'm thinking, yeah, Goldberg. There's a lot of things he should watch out for, but I don't see as Goldberg as the problem of him. More like a complaint of basically maybe Goldberg should have been told to basically calm down the ring. And even then, calm down the ring, like just be more safe, but just like the Ultimate Warrior, it's not a wrestler that wants to see him like for 25 minutes. The match with Bret Hart was supposed to be like 20 minutes. A match with Goldberg should not be more than 8, 10 minutes. Even a match with Brock Lesnar nowadays, I don't want him to be more than like 8 minutes. They're supposed to be high octane of offense, but if somebody matches it or go longer than that, it's not so high octane anymore. They need to win as fast as they could. And people can complain all you want about Goldberg, but watch him face Raven for the US title. And the moment Raven tries to escape after the Flock tries to do his bidding for him, and the crowd was so into Goldberg, they threw back Raven inside the ring. Raven couldn't escape. Spear jackhammer 1, 2, 3. How did he beat Hulk Hogan? I beat Scott Hall. That's not a revisionist story that Goldberg always sucks, because he didn't. Now, I'll grant you this. Goldberg should have retired after WrestleMania 33. Afterwards, I agree with this. From that period on, that Goldberg after 2017 kind of did. So that criticism for Goldberg afterwards, I grant you that. But until then, shut up. It was awesome. The moment he appeared in the ring, there was goosebumps, and you knew you were to see somebody get their ass kicked. The streak was great. It just so happened that the WCW couldn't follow up with after the streak. It's like Goldberg from 1999 was kind of lost in the shuffle when he shouldn't have been. You know, he should have won the title back and crush the entire NWO, but it didn't happen. But again, crapping on him for what? For the Bret Hart thing? Shinsuke Nakamura, didn't he injure like Tino Sabbatelli, Austin Aries, and nearly drops John Cena on his head? Where's the hate on that? What about the hate on Samoa Joe for Tyson Kidd? I'm sorry. Why doesn't Tyson Kidd basically use Bret Hart's bitterness and say, start calling basically Samoa Joe and call say anybody can work better than Samoa Joe? Why don't they say that? It's a concussion in a contact sport, you know? That's one thing I will defend Goldberg on. There's a lot of things he says that are stupid, especially the Oscar stuff was very stupid. But we'll defend Goldberg from that WCW period. Another thing, people complain it was a business man basically in 2003, 2004. Why? Because he stood his ground against Vince. Vince wanted him to wrestle like 200, 220 dates. And he says, my contract is 200 dates. I'm not doing more. And people complain about that? No, it's people stand up to Vince. Vince doesn't like that. You couldn't boss him around because he wasn't a mark. CM Punk, oh, I'll owe you one. Vince was saying, I'll owe you one, I'll owe you one. CM Punk just said, no, no. 200 days is 200 days. I'm gone. And if you don't like it, well, make me a full-time employee. Could have easily said that. I think people project a lot of their hatred on Bill Goldberg because he got famous despite not being the most talented guy, and I think he'll admit this. He wasn't the most talented guy, but he was very charismatic. He had different aura than many people. He was a badass in the ring, and every one of his moves reeked of explosiveness. Whether it's T-Bone, people forget he did T-Bone. Basically, his reverse neck breaker, spear, jackhammer, and even that rolling leg lock that he did was badass. It's like everything he did just seemed like, oh, you're about to be stretched in a pretzel, twisting the pretzel, and you're in for a big time beating. So I'll defend that. Like I said, to me, people forget that the fact that they never lived through the peak of 998 Goldberg, where he was legitimately the second most popular wrestler in the entire world. I mean, Italian WB was rocking the world with the Attitude Era. Goldberg, if it wasn't for Stone Cold Steve Austin, would be the number one popular wrestler on the planet. I know two bald guys with black tights, with black boots, with goatees happen to be the number one wrestlers of each brand. But guess what? It was the time. It was happening. People recognize them whenever he goes to. And at the time that WWE was falling, Goldberg's star was rising. He was a phenomenal badass character. He was never a phenomenal wrestler, but was a phenomenal badass character. And let's say a prototype of Braun Breaker, which would have been a bad idea to have Braun Breaker, not Gunter, retire him. Except, here's the thing. Unlike WWE, even WWE, at their most screwball way, decided it'd be better for that guy not to lose when he challenged for a title, unlike Braun Breaker. So anybody who was basically like saying WWE is bad, put that in your pipe and choke on it, because even WWE won up to WWE there. So that's number two. And apart from that rant, let's go to number one, which might not be that much of a hot take, or not as heated one, not a fiery one, but let's be honest. I think that Stone Cold Steve Austin was awesome as a heel in 2001. He made me laugh a lot. You Morris, is that supposed to be funny? What? Look at you. You're pathetic. Or saying you did everything. Like, I beat up this person because I did it for the Alliance. And it's like, it's so hilarious. Or, you're going to be a great star in 10 years. Things like that make me laugh like crazy. I have no problem with an heel turn or if Stone Cold Steve wants to be heel. I have a problem with him turning twice in 1 year when he should have turned at all that year. It's not during the Alliance should have turned. I feel like he should have turned at WrestleMania 18. Imagine if Triple H wins the Rumble, Stone Cold wins the WWE title from Jericho, and Austin retains the title WrestleMania 18 in the semi-main event by turning heel and attacking Triple H. Double turn of both. And then you can have Austin being that cowardly badass. In fact, unlike the John Cena retirement tour, it would actually make sense at the end of his career to realize his character, hey, I can't be the Stone Cold badass I used to be, so I have to evolve. So that's what I would have done. I would have been turning heel, not WrestleMania 17 in his hometown, his home state, sorry. I would have him win as a tweener in his own state, attack Rock as savage as it is, but stun Vince McMahon afterwards. Going back to psychotic Austin that we loved in 97, 98. Satan kind of lost a little bit of his edge, but he's not an heel. He's just attacking everybody. And he just turns from a tweener to a full-fledged heel at WrestleMania 18. But again, a lot of the stuff he did made me laugh. Him be codependent on Vince made me laugh. It's the stick with Austin, the Austin Angle thing made me laugh. There was a different side of us, Steve Austin. Maybe he needed that. Maybe he felt like I'm kind of bored with being Stone Cold Badass, so I'm gonna try to be a cowardly heel. Except the difference in him and Hogan. Hogan, they were ready to boo Hogan in WCW, and it's a time WCW never really loved Hogan, to be honest with you. It had a short fuse, a short ire. Short fuse for Hogan was Austin. He kept getting cheered on. He turned heel, they still cheered. He attacked somebody, he attacked the Hardys, still kind of cheered. It's like he was basically trying to go against the flow. And that's why I think that wasn't a great idea. So you make him cowardly, you wait till the invasion's done, because during the invasion, even if you turn him heel at WrestleMania 17, I think you should have done what you did with the John Cena. I think the one thing that I liked about the John Cena retirement run is when they realize, hey, him as a heel doesn't work anymore. Let's rapidly turn him back as a face. That's what they should have done during the invasion angle with Austin. Austin should have turned the moment he went back, he returned to destroy the alliance in the pre-invasion Raw. He should have stayed as a face. You could have gone the heel. You could have basically somebody else interfere for the alliance getting the win, but Austin should have stayed as a face. But anyway, I love Austin as a heel. It just wasn't the right time. Those are my top 10 wrestling I take. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. I'll see you guys later.